Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I'm bringing you guys another interview, and this one was highly requested. It is from Davies from Crew. Hi, Davies. Welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. A pleasure to be here.
Now, not long ago, you were in my part of the world. You were over here in England. You guys played a tournament in the Rebel home ground. I just wanted to talk to you about your experience and what did you learn from that tournament, being in that environment, playing on LAN, and also in front of a crowd as well.
Well, it was great. I think this was my first or second international LAN with a public in Valorant. It was great. Of course, I think the public there, when we play against Liquid, it was a little one-sided to them, of course, because they're from EU. But the whole experience was really good. I think it really helped us grow as a team also.
Now, of course, in that tournament, you guys played with Exedi, who, to my understanding, was kind of like stepping in as a bit of a substitute. How's the roster going now? I guess he's now kind of been moved to a six-man position. You guys are just running the five-man again with Melza.
Yeah, he is. Of course, we wanted to play the Red Bull tournament with Melso, but it was impossible because he was getting married. But Axie stepped in, and he's really good. He's the most flex player right now. So anytime that any of us has to do something, he always stepping in. But for now, we're trying with the starting roster with Meltzer and Axie as our sixth. I'm not sure if that will change in the future. That's a question that you have to ask your coach, but for now, it is not.
And how are you fitting into all of this? Of course, you're also a newcomer into roster as well. Do you feel more comfortable now, especially after playing an actual LAN event as well?
Well, of course. Well, the whole result of the tournament helped me a lot, individually. This was my first time playing some roles that I never played before, like in any team. Of course, the race I played before, but for example, the KO, it was new for me. So that helped me a lot in that role, in that sense. And yeah, like I told you, the team also learned a lot from it.
Now, for you individually, of course, this is a big opportunity, being able to play in VCT. You've been grinding for a long time as well in the scene. What does it mean to you to be able to join an organization as successful and big as Crew?
Well, it means it means a lot to me. I wanna say like the world to me, but like this was one chance that I was expecting like a lot of time ago, and that I thought I was not gonna get it sooner. So I think I got it sooner than I expected, because I knew like either LATAM or Crew was getting in, and to get into one of those rosters it was gonna be really hard. But it was a surprise for me that Crew wanted approaching me and was really interested in me as as their first option. Of course, yeah, like it was kind of a surprise. Like I knew what I could bring to the table to the team, but wasn't sure because, well, the difference from the regions. They play from LATAM South and I am from LATAM North. So like the only times that we got against each other, like to meet each other, was when we played against each other. If that makes sense. So we never had like I don't know how to say that. We never got to talk before I joined in. Of course, I agree that the players and everything, but it's not like I'm friends with them. So
You
I
mentioned that it was a surprise to you, like when they contacted you. What was that experience like? Did you have to like trial? What was, I guess, your emotions? Was it like through an email or something that you knew that they wanted to maybe pick you up?
yeah, I announced my free agents. Well, not my like I was looking for opportunities under contract, and they contacted me. And well, of course, I was like, okay, like they're interested. But the first meeting with them, they told me like, we want this roster and you're in it, like as a starting five. So yeah, that took me as a surprise because well, they were so sure about it. Of course, it boosted me a lot in confidence, and well, I don't know, I don't think I proved enough in the Red Bull tournament, but I'm here for the locking and the whole year to prove it.
I definitely look forward to that. I wanted to ask you about those kind of opportunities because in before it was like franchised, it felt, especially in LATAM, it was kind of crew and then Leviathan sort of comes through, and it was these two teams sort of consistently going to every international tournament. Was it difficult, for players like you to be able to find real opportunities to compete in Tier 1? What's the scene like right now?
Well, it's always been rough in LATAM. Like as you said, there was this always the big international events only plays either it was Crew at the start or Leviathan at the end of the season. So for us, that we were a part of it, it was really hard to grow because we only had two tournaments, well, two presentials at the year, and we had to deliver on them. Like play the biggest teams of the region in them, and well, I think what caused it, yeah, like punished us was that we didn't have the same experience as they. So yeah, I think that was like they had a big advantage because they have so many tournaments, international tournaments.
I think things might start to change now, with sort of a healthier ecosystem coming in. And for
Yeah,
you, of course, you've already had a bit of a taste of an international tournament. I know Red Bull, it was, I feel like a bit of a testing ground, right? Not everybody was like 100% ready. You didn't even have your full roster there. But
yeah.
you're about to head to Brazil. This is going to be a really big tournament. And of course, the matchups have been announced. I know you weren't on the roster last year, but it feels like FPX versus Crew. Towards the end of the year, it was like it happened so many times. And now FPX Navi, and you guys have to go up against them again the first round. What do you think about this matchup? And what do you think about Navi as a team?
Oh, it's gonna be great. Of course, I think they'll say even with the changes that they made, they're top three team in the world. So it's obviously like for me personally, I wouldn't wanna be I wouldn't wanna beat anyone else with them. Like face the first time that you face is gonna be like one of the best, if not the best team in the world. So that's great for me. Of course, I think it's gonna be hard and need a lot of preparation for it, but I think it's gonna be a fun match for us.
Yeah, I think it's one of those times where like everything is so new. You have new maps as well coming in, and
Yeah.
everyone's sort of just testing. I don't know. I don't even know if you can say that a certain team is going to be a certain way because like we haven't seen any of them really play yet. But what I will say is, when it comes to crew, I think a lot of the identity in the last 2 years has been Keznit. He's been a big part of it. And of course, for a lot of people going into next year without Keznit, I think people might have this idea that your team could potentially be weaker. What would you like to say, to people that do think that way? And is there any way that you feel like your team is actually stronger without Keznit?
Well, of course, I think that with Keznit, there were some things that they were really good at. I feel like they had a lot of aggression, a lot of this potential to make plays every single round and win runs off it. But for now, like I feel like the team is getting a lot more structured. I feel like in the long run, that's what's gonna make you win more matches than before. Well, I never played with him, so I'm not really sure what was the whole environment in the team with him. But yeah, like for now, like I think we're doing pretty good. I think we will do pretty good even more in the future. We're still obviously trying to figure out like every single team. Like there are some roles that are not 100% sure until we try. Um, but yeah, I think now we're gonna be a little more structured, and well, I don't think we're missing any any
Fire
aim, you know,
firepower?
like firepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think that's gonna be a problem for us.
I mean, if you have more structure and you keep that firepower, I think that's going to be the way to go, for
Yeah.
sure. Now, I don't know if you've seen, but there's been a lot of like tier lists made about the teams going into this tournament. Like all 30, well, 32 teams now. And I think it's a lot of people don't really know where to maybe place you. So, obviously, you've been scrimming against other teams. You've had a bit longer on the roster now. If I had to ask you to tier list your team, like, S tier, A tier, B, C, D, and so on with crew. Where would you put crew right now with all of the other 32 teams in mind?
Well, of course, you have to see where you put their teams. You know, like I don't feel like any team right now is an S tier team, for example. So I'll put us right now, for example, in a B on RC. But like I feel like in a month from now on, we're gonna be in a A tier, like at least, like a B plus at least, you know, because I feel like this team has a lot of potential, and we wanna do the things right. Like we wanna prepare a lot for a tournament, and if everything was wrong, like we're gonna learn and learn from it. So it's not like it's not gonna be a downfall for us or anything like that.
So you feel like by the time you get to Brazil, you'll be more confident about being like a B, A tier, you know?
Yes, of course.
I think that's fair. I mean, you still have a month to go. Like a lot can happen in that month. And lastly, before I let you go, I wanted to ask you about, how your team is approaching this Brazil tournament. There's obviously Split is coming back. Lotus is new. Are you looking to kind of explore those new maps and experiment a little bit more, or are you looking at this tournament as if we're gonna go in and try our best to kind of like win everything?
Well, of course we wanna win it. Like we wanna try our best to well, obviously we want to feel the meta of the game right now. Like we want to play as much meta as we can, like the strongest composition of every single map. But like I feel like right now is the time to explore anything. Um, but yeah, like we're gonna do our best to win it. I don't think we're gonna save anything or any strat or anything like that. Like I feel like this is like a little bit of the same as it was with Red Bull. Like it's gonna be a growing experience for us, you know, like we have to learn from it because that's what it is. It's not, well, of course if you win it you qualify further in the competition in the year, but like I feel like the most that you can gain from it is experience in a tournament and experience in a crowded event.
I mean, yeah, especially since you've got 8 weeks of that right after, right? It's not too long between Brazil and the start of your domestic season as well. So I'm very excited to hear you say that, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play in Brazil. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.